was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings.
That's it, baby. We're going to work. Watch the slant. 25, check 25, check 25.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
You must be dreaming.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here third and long. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Well, as an offense, you know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was third and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't pull him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Drop deep, drop deep. Showing it, showing it.
To throw is Bridgewater. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey, 35 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Bridgewater now from the 50. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Robbie Anderson, 50 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to...
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Bridgewater. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, 69 yards. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. fielded at the 20. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Bang, 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 bang. Check. Check, hot route, hot, hot. Check three.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the 1st quarter of play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Check 24, watch 24.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Bridgewater. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. 6-3.
To throw, Bridgewater. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
He's brought down by Shaq Thompson. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
Check, Mike 42. Check. Fresno. He's coming. Double up.
Here's McCaffrey. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Anthony Zettel popping in for the sack.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, not going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Minnesota. 49 yards. Cousins, nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Carolina. Ian Thomas. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point try good by Gano. And the route is on here in this first half. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran off.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 30, 10, and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 78 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gano the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Again, it's Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On third down, Cousins. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it, and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trey Boston. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. McCaffrey. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Switch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? On the ground, McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Gano the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Going for the deep ball. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 38 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. 49, check 49, check 49.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
The needle Hunter on the stop. 5 yards on the play. And it's third down.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It's certainly.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Brian Burns. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. On second down, it's Cook. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Steps away to his left. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Watch out, watch out.
This is McCaffrey. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 7-yard line.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Check 52. Back.
They'll try and pick it up in McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for me. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On second down, Cook. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the
pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. K1 short in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
You can't stop me.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. To throw is Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 45-yard line.
Good route here.
Cousins on first down. And that is incomplete here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. 3rd down here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So